Everyone meet Patty! She is... Thank you for your input, Piper. This is Patty. She's a juvenile veiled chameleon. And she is just my precious little lady. Aren't you growing so big, Patty? I got her 3 weeks ago. She lives with all her plants and her ladders. And she has a big personality. She's very sweet. When I got her, well, first I thought I was getting a boy. And the handler pulled her out. And she did not want to be picked up. And then he was like, do you want to hold her? And I was like, yeah, if she'll let me hold her. And he put her in my hands, and it was like an instant soul bond. She crawled up my shoulder, and she just sat chilling on my shoulder, like the whole time. And he was like, I have a panther in the back that's really cool, he's red. And I was like, I don't know, I can't leave Patty. She's precious. So this is Patricia, full name, Patty for short. Say hello to the people, Pat. Little Pat zoom in. And she's starting to be able to camouflage even better now. She loves camouflaging with her plants and hiding. She loves drinking off leaves. I think she likes me. Hope so. What do you think, Patty? What do you think of the people? What do you think, Air Friends? Piper is indifferent. She doesn't even know she exists. So that's kind of awesome. But this is Patricia. Put a little cute graphic there. I don't have my microphone on, so hopefully the audio isn't terrible. But this is Pat, and she lives in her home in the art studio. So I thought Pat would be like our little mascot together. Everyone say, we love you, Patty. I love you, Patty. You're just a little peach. You're just a little darling. So Patty is here alongside us to paint and make art together. So if you don't have a chameleon, that's all right. Patty can be yours too. She's our chameleon. Say bye, Pat. Bye. We're painting this week. Who's surprised? I love painting. This year I've just really gotten my painting inspiration back. I love it. It's so joyful for me. Yeah, so this week we are painting. It's big too. This is my friend Lily. We met at work, and she just always inspires me. She's the sweetest. She's funny. We went to medieval times together. She's just incredible. Just a great person. And I love her style. She's a little bit more gothic than I am, but we like a lot of the same things. So she always has the prettiest makeup. Her hair is adorable. I just love everything about her, and I was really inspired by her. So the plan is I'm going to paint my beautiful friend, and then of course, you know, I have to add Mallorie touch, even though her hair is black, her eyeliner is deep black. So this is not, I don't want to change any of my friends that I paint. That's not my goal. My goal is to put my friends into my lens, like how I view them. So obviously there's going to be a lot of color instead of just, you know, black hair, white background, that's it. So instead of just using straight black, you know, I'm probably going to mix a blue, either like a deep blue or a deep burgundy. We're going to paint some flowers, some lilies around Lily, how fitting. And I thought I'd just take you along for the ride and show you kind of the ins and outs of what studio life is like when I'm done with my schoolwork. So, yeah, stay tuned. I want to see if my big guns easel's gonna work on the desk. We shall see. Oh, Jesus, heavy. Excuse me, girl. Woo! She's a big mama. we're gonna have to do some rearranging.
Or should I just stand it up?
I think we might just have to stand it up. Oh, hi, Piper.
Hey, girl. Everyone say hey, hey.
Welcome back, art friends. This painting did not go as I planned this week, so I started out on canvas like I showed you, but when I started rendering it, it was getting much too blendy, and I was getting way too precious with it because she's my friend, so like there was a big pressure to make it look like her because I know she's actually gonna see it. So I kind of scrapped that once I realized, like, oh, this is getting too tight. This is not the loose brushwork that I like. This isn't really representing my artistic intention, if that makes sense. So I'm actually going to scrap this. You're not going to see me render anymore on the canvas because I switched over to gouache. And I feel like gouache was kind of what I should have started with because that was that really painterly intention I was going for. I really like this mosaic type of brush strokes where you just paint a block and you leave it. You're not blending it. You just put it down and you leave it. You walk away. And I like how loose that is. That's really what I try to go for, is looseness and just have fun with it. So I'm painting in that magenta again, but with watercolor this time. And you're gonna see me take out the gouache colors, again, just the primaries, and I'll be back with y'all in a minute. Enjoy! Yeah, so this gouache worked out way better. I think this painting only took me like 2 hours tops, 2.5 hours maybe. I think I only had about an hour of footage, which is pretty sweet. But again, I wasn't recording every single second because that's just redundant. But this is me telling you that if a piece of art isn't working, just try something else. Just switch that medium. Switch your medium and just see what happens. See it from a new perspective. Play with it. Because art is all about fun here, guys. Art is all about joy and whimsy and making it yourself, you know? We're not going for, this has to be my masterpiece. I also think the word masterpiece is a myth. I think that a masterpiece can only be determined by the viewer, to be honest. Because, like, what if we're looking at Van Gogh, for example, and everybody is saying, well, Starry Night is his ultimate masterpiece. And what if I don't like Starry Night? What if I'm like, you know what? I think Iris is his masterpiece. So I think the whole concept of a masterpiece is just as subjective as the art is. So take that pressure off of yourself. It's either gonna be a masterpiece or it's not. And that's gonna be whether you want it to or not. It's not gonna matter your intention because art just happens. You don't have control over your mediums. You don't really have control over the end product either. Like, I have what I'm envisioning in my head. I made this, I put a reference photo together and I thought of the background, but I'm not glued to it. Don't be glued to your references. That's the most restricting thing in art. My reference was there to show me what Lily looks like, and that's it. That's it. I just wanted her likeness. That was it, because I struggle with likeness so bad, as many of you know. So that's why I kind of had this big pressure on my shoulders to make it perfect, because I was like, crap, it's not gonna look like her. And she's gonna see it, and she's gonna be like, oh, I have to be nice about this. Like, it's not good. I mean, she would never. She's the sweetest. But anyway, regardless, just switch up your medium. It's not that deep at the end of the day. Don't get to, if it's not going the way you planned, just let it go. Don't keep trying to overwork it and save it and save it and save it, because you're just gonna, the process is gonna feel so grueling and so, it's just not gonna turn out how you want. That's the moral of the story. But yeah, switch up your mediums, people. Let's talk about the technical process here a little bit. So first, obviously you saw me do that wash of magenta. I think it's called opera pink is the specific name of the watercolor. And then I'm blocking in like the darkest values, so like around the eyes, so I can kind of get a map for it. I'm gonna end up making it darker later because gouache, this was the first time I used gouache in a minute, okay? So I was not prepared. I had the urge and I rolled with it. And I think that was awesome. Go with your artistic urges. Anyway, so I blocked in that deep, deep purple. It's just ultramarine. And I think the specific gouache color is called scarlet red. That was like the closest to a primary red I think I could attain. And then that yellow is called bumblebee yellow. How precious. Anyway, so mixing up that darkest color, and it's gonna end up being a really, really dark violet. And I'm putting that around the eyeliner, blocking in the hair. She has black hair. So I tried to make it more dimensional though, instead of just blocking in one solid piece of black, if that makes sense. So that's why I really like gouache, because you can just layer. I mean, you're not supposed to. Everyone's like, gouache layers horribly. Well, that's why I like using it. I like transparent blocks that are kind of overlapping. I don't know, it just gives a really cool visual texture. Like a dry brush is also really cool. There's just so many fun textures you can have with gouache. You can make it thin, you can make it thick. It doesn't matter. And also, hey, I was having a really hard time with those bangs. Those bangs were not coming together for me. We figured it out. Awesome. I also really like, let's talk about some positive things here. So that blue for the highlights, I think that looks awesome. It looks kind of like a reflected light. I also really like, at the end, you'll see me add some colored pencil touches at the end to kind of like sharpen it up. I think that turned out really good. I really like the brushwork. That was what I was going for. Very loose, very painterly, mosaic kind of style. One negative that I could improve upon, I think my shadows unfortunately did get a little bit muddy. User error, but also because I was so out of touch with gouache at this point. Like, I really wasn't familiar at all, you know, because gouache will dry lighter or darker just depending on the color you mix, because it's a matte finish. So I think my shadows did end up a little bit muddy, like, and I didn't have much variance in my shadows. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. I should have had more different tones. But other than that, I really do like the finished product. To me, I got her likeness pretty spot on. I think it looks like her, so that's a win for me. And I think it also looks like a painting that I made. So that's another win. Those were our 2 goals, and we accomplished both of them. Round of applause, people. Set your goals, try to achieve them, and if you don't, it's not the end of the world. So enjoy some nice color pencil ASMR here. Here's the finished product. I love her. Look at her on my gallery wall. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I love you guys so much, and I'll see you here next week. Bye!